What if once we actually said what we thought when someone asked us how we were feeling, or how a dress made them look, or how it made us feel when we were stood up? What if once, instead of fine, we gave an actual answer? What if it was, this week was the worst week of my life, and although I don't have all the reasons why, I came today hoping that I could find someone to be honest with, that I could share with, and not be afraid that you would judge me for the stupid things I did? What if once, instead of worship being just a song, it was a poem, or a dance, or a prayer, or a scream? And what if once the pastor stood up and said they were truly struggling with things? What if the pastor said, today as I drove to church, I didn't really want to come, but I knew my paycheck was dependent on me preaching this sermon? What if they said, I'm not sure that I believe what I've said, at least not 100%, but I'm willing to struggle through it with you? And what if the people in the church stood with them? What if once we acknowledged that we don't have it all together, and so we stopped pretending that we do? What if once teenagers were affirmed for asking questions and children for making noises that were disturbing to church folks because at least we knew someone was alive and making noise? What if once a guy was told that he doesn't have to pretend to be dumb to be attractive, and that a girl that was told that she didn't have to bare her breasts so that she could find a place to bare her soul? What if once we stopped for just a moment in the sacred spaces of church and nature and our rooms and understood that love as something that can't be understood but has to be felt to be believed? What if once there was a poem that didn't have all the lyrics written ahead of time, and it had a place of complete vulnerability where the poet would have to depend on not knowing what was coming like we do in life when we don't know what is coming, but we pretend we know so that we can continue not have to feel anything? But that's not what poetry is, or at least not what it should be. Poetry should be the tearing of the heart and the showing of the vessels to the masses so that you can feel what I have felt. So here it is. I'm practicing this poem for Sunday night, and I don't even know what the next sentence is or who all's going to be listening, and I think that right now you might be sitting and looking at me, thinking, gee, I wish that Chris would just shut up and get on with the lesson so we could get to small groups, so that we could get to playing basketball, or frisbee, or doing something else, or maybe we could just go home so that my parents would stop being on my back about everything. Maybe this will make it stop. There's the once. And honestly, it scared the junk out of me, just to finally be willing to be that vulnerable to you, to myself. To say that I honestly didn't know what I was going to say till I said it, and I don't know how you'll react till I finish, and that has to be okay. So now the question is, can there be a twice? Or a forever? Where we never speak before we listen, or listen only to prove a point, but rather we listen with honest ears and speak with honest truth, where we bare our souls to each other for the sole purpose of living life together and weathering the storm, or cheering each other on as we go. Will you be the once in your world? The one who will be vulnerable? Probably not. Until you realize that we need each other, that we are not on this journey alone, that we have to be together to get anywhere. What if one of you, and another of you, and another of you decided that one is a number too few? And what if your love for each other grew so that you could share as you tear open your bags to show each other where you hurt? What if in that tearing you found healing? And what if once you left this place better than when you came in?